Welcome to the best accountancy video on direct and indirect costs. There are two types of costs. First, direct costs. These are directly traceable in full to the product, service, or department and are also known as the prime cost. Second, indirect costs. These are those that are incurred while making product or providing services or running a department, not traceable directly or in full. They are also called overheads. Let's look at the breakdown of the total cost figure to understand better. Total materials cost is made up of two components: direct material cost and indirect material cost. Same goes for labor and other expenses. The sum of total materials, labor, and expenses equals the total cost, which is also the sum of total direct and indirect costs. Breakdown of direct cost. Direct material is the cost of materials used in making and selling a product or service, plus direct labor. This is the cost of manpower used to make a product or providing a service, plus direct expenses. Expenses incurred as a direct consequence of making product or service or running a department. Note that the sum of all direct costs is also known as the prime cost. Let's look at the breakdown of indirect cost. Indirect material, these are cost of materials which cannot be traced in the finished product. Example, materials used up in production or used in negligible amounts. Plus, indirect wages, all cost of manpower not directly charged to a product. These are wages of supervisors overseeing craftsmen who actually make the product. Plus, indirect expenses, other expenses not directly charged to production. Example, rent and insurance of a factory, depreciation and maintenance costs. Breakdown of other indirect costs. This is the third component of overheads that we had seen earlier. First, administration overhead. They are all indirect costs of material, wages, and expenses incurred for control and administration of an undertaking. Example, depreciation of office building and equipment, office salaries of directors, rent, telephone charges, etc. Plus, selling overhead. They are all indirect costs of material, wages, and expenses incurred for marketing and customer retention. Example, printing and stationery of catalogs, salary and commission of salesmen, advertisement, promoting, rent of showrooms, etc. Plus, distribution overhead. These are all indirect costs of material, wages, and expenses incurred in making the packed product ready for dispatch and delivery to the final consumer. Examples include cost of secondary packaging. Note that primary packaging is a direct cost. Wages of packers, drivers, rent and insurance of warehouse, etc. Make sure you note down all the keywords. Let us know if you have any doubts regarding any accounting topics. Make sure to follow Mango Accounting for more easy accounting concepts.